Well, well, it looks like there's going to be more war on the horizon. What else is new? Uh, it is very, very hard uh, for people not to become cynical about all this stuff. You know, ostensibly, what we have now is on the American side. I believe we have very close to 10,000 people, um, service members of the American Armed Forces, dead within the time span of 10 or 11 years. That, of course, is not counting, the injured, the permanently maimed, or those who commit suicide after they come out of that war zone. Those people don't figure into that statistic. And the people on the other end of our aggression, and yes, I will call it aggression, are at the very least 100,000 Iraqis dead, perhaps not shot dead by our guns, but by default via our own foreign policy in the Middle East. In addition to this, we probably have close to 500,000 refugees, Iraqis for the most part, now residing in Syria. And guess what? Now, these poor people are facing the same situation once again. So they were barely able to survive, having to escape into some other country. And now the whole thing repeats itself. You know, it's all too easy to talk about all these large numbers of people, okay? It's very easy. We can all dismiss all of these statistics because essentially to us, they're basically all numbers. Unless you have personal experience with this, have some family member involved in all of this, or you know somebody in some way that has been involved in this. So I'm going to ask at this point, and this is a call to all vloggers or internet bloggers out there. There was a person on the internet, a very prominent blogger, so to speak, a female who was basically just reporting her own situation from Iraq as it happened before she became a refugee. Okay, this went on for years. This person, her synonym on the internet was River Bend. Okay, she explained basically from the ground, just as an ordinary Iraqi woman, what the hell was going on during this conflict when it first got started. Then this entire situation, after the so-called U.S. victory in Iraq, she eventually, her and her family, had to flee, I believe it was either to Syria or into Jordan. I think her last post was on the internet was made in 2007 or 2008, I believe. And nobody has heard a word from from this woman since then, ever again. Okay? Not ever again. So I want to ask you, what would happen if this happened to your own family member someplace else? Hey, you were conversing with them over Facebook, over the internet, and all this, right? And suddenly they completely disappeared. They vanished, as far as electronic media is concerned. And none of us have any idea whether this person is actually still alive or not. Grab that around your mind and think about it. What would happen to you or to your relatives? How would you react other than just interacting with some person on the net if that happened to one of your friends?